Hi kiddos, and welcome back to our second day of distance learning. We are going to learn about the early life of Andrew Jackson before he was president. So Andrew Jackson was born in 1767 in South Carolina. His father had died before he was born and really left his family in poverty. Jackson, as a young boy, really liked to play sports. He wasn't into school at all. He was also known for having a hot temper, and later on he will be nicknamed Old Hickory for his toughness and not backing down and standing up to people, standing up to what he believes is right, all the duels and fighting that he does. So when he was 13 years old, he actually joins the militia in the American Revolution to fight against the British Army. He was actually captured as when he was 13 and was captured in the Revolutionary War, and he had to serve the British, of course, since he was their basically the prisoner of war. And a British soldier had asked Jackson to polish his boots, and Jackson refused to do it, and that outraged this British soldier, who then took his sword and basically slashed Jackson's head and hand, and Jackson ends up carrying these scars for the rest of his life. So after the Revolutionary War, Jackson starts to practice law, and so what he does is he moves to Nashville, Tennessee, so that he can open up his own practice there. And at this time, Nashville is a tiny frontier settlement with some cabins and tents, but the town was growing quickly, and so was Andrew Jackson's law practice. He soon earned enough money to buy land and slaves and set himself for to be a farmer. Now, we don't really know Andrew Jackson for the law practice that he did, but we do remember him from the War of 1812 and the Battle of New Orleans. So in the last lesson we talked about was the War of 1812 and how Andrew Jackson, after the war, actually the peace talks had happened, went into the war with the British down in New Orleans and ended up just crushing them. And this made him basically a national hero. He was a general at that time, and this really made him well known and famous. He also had other major victories besides the Battle of New Orleans. He also had the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, which was against the Creek Indians, and he also led a campaign against the Seminole tribe in Florida. So these are just a couple things about Jackson before he entered politics. So Jackson decides to enter politics in Tennessee. He served in the House and the Senate, but he did not become widely known, like we said, until the War of 1812. In the next section that we talk about, we're going to look at Andrew Jackson running for presidency in the election of 1824, and then again in the election of 1828. So for today, I want you to write down these notes. If you are missing any, if these notes aren't in the original paper that I had given you, I put a new one on Teams, and you could go ahead and print that out or write in it, or you could just take the original hard copy that I gave you and put in anything extra that I've added. You can just write it in on that sheet of paper. That will be just fine. Don't forget to work on your vocab, and you will make sure you read section 2, and I'm going to have you complete section 2's homework. So let me show you what that looks like. So in Teams, you're going to have something called Section 2, and you're going to complete this roadmap of Andrew Jackson's journey from the frontier to the White House. You're going to see different dates, and in each space, I want you just to write a quick little sentence explaining why that date is significant. And we're going to go into more detail about this in my next lesson that I have for you as well, okay? And then below, you're going to see these two people, common person and upper class person. And Andrew Jackson obviously would be more the common person. He did not grow up rich at all. He grew up very poor. And so you're going to add in little speech bubbles to reflect what the common person might say and what the upper class person might say or felt during this time, okay? So when you read section 2, this is, you're going to take that information and you're going to write in just what you think a common person might say and an upper class person might say. This will be your homework for today, and you can get this turned into teams by Friday. Have a great day, kiddos. Bye-bye.